Favorite F1 circuit is Monaco. Why? Because there's no circuit like it. It's tight, twisty, there's no room for error. And the whole weekend, it's our Super Bowl of Formula One. Earliest F1 memory was sitting on the couch as a kid. I reckon I was 3 years old and watching races and fascinated by it, the sound and the speed. So yeah, from a very early age, I was drawn to all of it. Favorite city in the world? It's so hard to pick one. I will definitely tip my hat to home. You know, Perth, West Australia. I grew up there. I've spent every Christmas there. It's a beautiful city. It's still fairly quiet, pretty remote, amazing coastline. It was a beautiful place to grow up. I've always been, I think, an optimistic person. I grew up in sunshine by the coast. I think that helped. And I'm doing my dream job. Like, I'm racing Formula One cars for a living, getting paid to do what I love. So it's hard not to be optimistic and excited to get up every morning. My happy place. I certainly have a few of them. One, you know, for the last few years has been the States. We race in Austin, and Austin's such a great city. There's so much music there. And even the night before the race, I'll go and, you know, go to a bar and just watch someone perform. So that's a happy place for me. Best piece of advice. It's the most basic, simple rule, I think, but also the most important is have fun. I think when you're having fun, you're going to have more success whilst doing it. So just go out there and have fun. How I get motivated before a race, I don't have any, I'm not superstitious, anything like that, but I have like somewhat of a routine. But one thing I'll always do on the grid before I put the helmet on is I'll have music in my ears, you know, and that's getting me in my like little zone and my quiet place. It blocks all the other noise out. And yeah, you'll always see me with some headphones on. Worst habit in some drivers. Probably a lack of happiness. It's so competitive, and of course we all want to win, and there's only one person that can normally win, but we're still like living a very cool life, and I feel like sometimes it's taken for granted and the attitude can be somewhat spoiled. So yeah, I frown upon that sometimes for sure. My first car was in Australia we call it a ute. So I guess in maybe other parts of the world it's like a truck. So it was a Hilux. Yeah, Toyota Hilux. And I loved going camping, outdoors, all that stuff. So this could throw plenty of things, just chuck her in the back. Yep. So now I drive a Renault Megane RS, and I also ride a Vespa. I live in Monaco, so it's pretty convenient on a Vespa as well. It's been a while since I got a speeding ticket. I want to say I haven't got one in 3-4 years. I've been well behaved. And I don't actually drive that much. We normally get drivers, so, which is weird, I'm the driver, but I'm pretty good with speeding tickets. City with worst traffic. It's London or LA, I guess. They're two cities I do spend time in, and yeah, they're up there for sure. Greatest inspiration in life. I guess there's been a lot, and you know, it's not only race car drivers, it can be other athletes or just people doing awesome things in life. But I certainly owe a lot to my parents. You know, you don't realize it as a kid growing up, but I'm 31 now, and I'm at an age where I appreciate the upbringing I had, and let's say the life lessons they taught me. It certainly shaped me into the person I am. So At the time, you probably don't look up to your parents, but now, looking back, I certainly look up to them and how they raised me. Most difficult part of being in lockdown would be probably crowds, like missing crowds. I can have both in terms of I love being alone, and I was on my farm in Australia for a lot of the lockdown, so I loved that kind of serenity of it all. But I do miss a vibe, you know, I miss being in a crowded place with music, and so yeah, I guess I miss company. "2021, I'm looking forward to another fresh start challenge. I'll be racing for McLaren, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. You know, they've been such an iconic team in Formula One for so many years, and a team I've always respected and looked up to. So, looking forward to that and getting closer to the world title. Best part of my job, winning. You know, that is really the ultimate, the success you get from that, and the joy and the celebrations with everyone, like that is the ultimate. The everyday great part of the job is traveling, seeing the world. Yeah, it's a privilege. Worst part of the job, there's normally more bad days than good days in our sport, so learning to deal with the heartbreak of it all, yeah. A shoey tastes like roses. The trick though is whatever beverage you're gonna put in it has to be alcoholic. It has to be cold. The cold, the chill kills all the other stuff going on in the shoe. So make sure it's cold and you'll win.